Hello chaps, welcome once again to John Robson Guitar Tuition. As always, I do hope you're well. Now then, a little while ago I put a post up on the community section of YouTube asking if any of you had any good musician jokes, and they were going to be featured in an upcoming video. Well, that's today. So here are a bunch of your favourite and a couple of my favourite musician jokes. Can I just say though, before we get into it, what's with all the drummer hatred? Really? Quite a lot of these jokes are at the expense of drummers. Now fortunately there will be no offence caused to drummers because they're not going to be watching this. They're all glued to reruns of Teletubbies, I imagine. So here are the jokes. How do you get a guitar player to turn the volume down? Put some sheet music in front of him. How does a singer change a light bulb? He just grabs hold of it and waits for the world to revolve around him. How can you tell when there's a drummer at the door? The knocking gets faster. How can you tell when there's a guitarist at the door? The knocking gets louder. How can you tell when there's a singer at the door? He's got the wrong key and doesn't know when to come in. Bloke walks into a shop and he says to the guy behind the counter, he says, I've just come into a bit of money, he says, and I've decided to take up the guitar. Now, I want to do this properly, so give me a custom shop Fender Stratocaster. Let's have a Les Paul as well. I want one of the proper custom shop Gibsons. Oh, and I'm going to need a couple of amplifiers, aren't I? Right, well, let's start off with a Marshall stack, obviously, and then I think I'll have a Fender Twin Reverb. And what about those Dumble Overdrive Specials? I wouldn't mind one of those. And of course, I'm going to need some effects. We'll start off with an original TS-808 Tube Screamer, and we'll have a Dallas Arbiter fuzz face, and we'll have the old Roland Space Echo, and maybe a couple of chorus pedals. Chuck in a flanger as well for good measure, and yeah, that should just about do me for now. Fellow behind the counter says, "You're a drummer, aren't you?" The bloke goes, "How did you know?" He says, "This is a greengrocer's." What did the guitar player do when he won the lottery? Kept playing gigs till the money ran out. How many guitar players does it take to change a light bulb? 6. One to change the bulb, and 5 of his mates to say how much better they could have done it. Phrases you'll never hear. That's the banjo player's Porsche. She's shagging the banjo player. The drummer turned up early. That guitar player was just too quiet. What's got 3 legs and 1 arsehole? A drum stool. How do you get a drummer off your porch? Pay him for the pizza. What's the difference between a jazz guitarist and a rock guitarist? A rock guitarist plays 3 chords to 1,000 people. A jazz guitarist plays 1,000 chords to 3 people. What's the difference between a large pizza and a working musician? The large pizza can feed a family of 4. What's the difference between a drummer and a drum machine? With a drum machine, you've only got to punch the information in once. How long does it take a bass player to fit a new set of strings? No one knows. It's never been tried. £50 note laid on the floor. Who picks it up first? The bass player who knows the songs, the bass player who doesn't know the songs, or the Tooth Fairy? It's the bass player who doesn't know the songs, because the other 2 are just a figment of your imagination. A drummer dies and goes to heaven, and he's met at the pearly gates, as is customary in this kind of story, by St. Peter. And St. Peter's looking down his clipboard like this, and he says, "Actually, yes, it seems that you've lived a very good and charitable life." He says, "I don't see any problem with accommodating you up here for all of eternity." At which point the drummer frowns and says, "All of eternity? Says, "Tell me there are no lead guitarists up here." Says, "Bane of my life, lead guitarists, and the thought of all of eternity having to put up with lead guitarists." He says, "I don't think I could take that." St. Peter just laughs and says, "Lead guitarists? You must be joking." Says, "We don't let that rabble up here." Says, "No, they're all below stairs, mate. They're down there surfing on the lake of fire." Says, "No need to worry about them." "Fine," says the drummer, and through the pearly gates he goes. Then a few days later, or maybe it was a few millennia, who can tell, he's floating around heaven having a fine old time, and here's the intro to Sweet Child O' Mine. What's that? There must be a lead guitarist up here. So he follows the sound, and, you know, then it transforms into Smoke on the Water, and then a little bit later it becomes Parisian Walkways, and he thinks, "Oh my God, there's a lead guitarist up here, what's happening?" So he finds St. Peter, and he says, "I thought you told me there were no lead guitarists up here." And St. Peter says, of course there aren't, we don't let them up here. He says, well, there is one. He says, because I've heard him. He said he was playing Sweet Child of Mine, then it went into Smoke on the Water, and then it went into Parisian Walkways. And St. Peter starts laughing. He says, oh no, he says, I see what's happened here. That isn't a lead guitarist. That's God. He just thinks he's a lead guitarist. And there you have it, folks. Thank you for all the giggles that you've given me putting this video together. It was a whole lot of fun, I must say. Next video, we're going to be back to the more kind of guitar tuition-y sort of stuff. Haven't decided what it's going to be yet, but it'll probably be something bluesy, I think. I'll let you know more next week, probably about midweek when that video is going to come out. And if you can't wait till then for some tuition, can I just mention that Udemy have a sale on at the moment. A lot of my courses are massively discounted as a result. There's a course there on slide guitar, a course on entry-level lead guitar, a course on playing modes, a course on playing blues beyond the pentatonic scale. There's a bit more of an advanced lead guitar course up there as well, and there's a beginner's course, so plenty to choose from. Why not check out a course? If you want to support this channel, then enroll on a course, and that helps me a lot. Or you could just buy a t-shirt or a coffee mug, once again a great way of helping the channel. Or if you can't be bothered doing any of those things and you still want to help out, then just buy me a pint via the PayPal link in the description. And that's pretty much it for today, folks. Thanks for all the jokes, thanks for all the laughs, and thank you once again for watching, and I do look forward to seeing you all again next time around. Bye for now, folks. And don't forget, before you go, to check out my Udemy courses, which you can see are available via my website, which is also where you can contact me to get in touch for some one-to-one tuition, either via Skype or in person if you live local to me. I also have merchandise available on my Teespring store, and of course all of the links are in the description. See you next time, chaps.